Hello, hello. It's time to check in with the messages for today and see where they take us. Okay? See where they take us. What do we need to know? What is for us to discover, to learn, to think about, to appreciate, to recognize, to release, to balance, right? All the things. Focus on, noodle, not noodle. That's from Kung Fu Panda. Kung Fu Panda. Wait a minute. Is that what it's called? What the hell is that movie called? You know, Jack Black voices, Panda, Fabulous Pie, Kung Fu Panda. Oh my goodness. You know that movie with that guy and there's that thing that they do? That movie. Okay. What is this card? Rebirth. The energy of rebirth helps you to release old things. It helps you get familiar with everything new, thus enabling you to get used to your new reality. We all die to be reborn. This is our biggest challenge. Yeah. Yeah, it is. Because, I don't know, we get really comfortable in the familiar, right? And like to our own detriment. To our own detriment. We forget that what once was unfamiliar became familiar and comfortable. And so we can do that again, right? We can get there again. Um, Sometimes we feel like, well, this is as good as it's going to get. So I don't want to, or this is good enough. So I don't want to thrust myself into an unknown when I know that this is good enough. But the thing is, the greater the risk, the greater the reward, right? And so the more you're willing to sacrifice that old, comfortable, good enough thing, um, well, the more chances you have of you trading up, right, for something that isn't just good enough. It's the best ever, but you're never going to get there if you don't let go of that old thing first. And same is true with yourself, right? Like that old version of you. I'm good enough, right? No, be better. Beautiful. Confirmation. Because we have rebirth, and this is the birth. Berkano. Fecund. I was saying fecund. It's fa. There's no R in it. Let's figure it out right now. Fecund. Yeah, there's no R. I was saying with an R. Okay, fecund. In the springtime, fertile and fecund Mama Hare brings forth an abundance of new life. She is the great mother and fiercely protective. The timeless cycles of the earth flow through her generation after generation. Rakano holds within it the mature female wisdom of our mothers and our grandmothers. Rakano speaks of female fertility and also of the safety and shielded sanctuary of the womb. When this rune appears in a reading, there may be a birth of a child, an idea, or even a new goal, a great new goal. Birth, sanctuary, fertility, life change, and secrets. There's always got to be secrets with the new birth, right? Because there's that element of the unknown, right? I mean, I guess with the knowing what the birth of your child is going to be, or the sex of your child before it's born, but it used to be that you just, you know, loved, appreciated, and supported whatever came out of you, and you kind of, well, even I guess even when you know what the sex of your child is going to be, there's still those elements of its entire life that you just don't know, right? But this doesn't have to necessarily be about the birth of a bebe. This can be like the birth of an idea, the birth of your new life, rebirth, you being born, right? The new version of you. You're like, what am I going to be when I'm born? Right? And there's a beauty and release came out. Okay. And the King of Pentacles. So that's that transform. You can't transform into the new version of you until you release the old version of you. It's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. Beautifully demonstrated by the snake shedding its skin. Those skins that it is shedding are the old versions of itself, the old shadows of what it once was, right? And it's always bigger and better. It always emerges bigger and better once it sheds the skin. And it can't put the skin back on, right? It won't fit. It'll just rip right through because it has released that old version and become its new beautiful self. Okay, so rebirth. If you're starting fresh right now in this new version of you, right? You wake up in the morning as if you were just born into this day. What do you do with what you know now, right? The thing with being born, we're like a tabula rosa, right? The empty slate. No, tabula rosa, is that what it's called? I'll go with it. this empty slate, and our environment, our circumstances, our people, everything, that's what we absorb, that's what we read, that's what we learn, right? But you're being reborn into this day anew, with knowledge, with experience, with a knowing and an understanding, an awareness. So what will you do? What will you do with your new legs, your new mind, your new heart, your new soul? How will you interact? What will you prioritize? Right? Okay. Let's see what the cards want to tell us today, to bring with us today, to make something magical. Show us evidence of the magic. You know, I kind of woke up with a little bit of lingering doubts, like, really? Can it? Will it? Is it? And this morning I got up, did my usual shower, and then came downstairs and I stood outside in the garden for a minute and I was just listening to the wind, and then all of a sudden I hear this eagle call. And so I look over up in the sky and there are two eagles flying together and they were talking back and forth to each other. One would call, the other one would answer, one would call, the other one would answer. And they did this soar and loop. And it was such a nod from the universe. Like, yeah, all things are possible, right? All things are possible. Okay, boundaries. Yeah, um, I don't think we've had a reading without this card. Okay. And so this is a boundary. Like, say this is your intuition. This is your boundary line on anything that is trying to go against your intuition, right? Your intuition is telling you one thing, and your mind, let's say, is like, is it? Will it? Can it? Right? And so guard against those things. You don't need those things in this new life, this new birth of you, this new birth of you, this rebirth of you trusts, right? Just trusts. Okay, because this wheel is turning in your favor and it's your connection with yourself, your grounding, your higher wisdom, your inner knowing, your internal knowing. Okay, this is what is turning your wheel in your favor, which is why it's so important to guard against anything that doubts this, because it's like, you know, your intuition and faith and everything is turning the wheel this way. And every time you doubt, you're like, and now you're like, tug of warring, right? So don't do that. Okay. This is reaching a goal and things happening behind the scenes. So this is, I feel like, the goal is to turn this wheel in your favor, right? And this is that unseen, the wheel is turning in your favor. And this trust, right? This faith, this patience. Okay, there's the grounding, there's the meditative of all the states. And the readings cannot go without that one either. Okay, and then we've got fast moving energy towards your goal. Okay, this is the building of momentum. And this is like the holding back from jumping at anything and everything. Okay, and the patient knight, being patient, being focused. Okay. Tell us more. Tell us more. What else? What else about this reading, this rebirth, this transformation? I'm getting trust in your transformation here. You know, you've come too far, you've done too much to backpedal, to entertain any of those resisting things. It's still that like remnants or old habit of the ego doubting, in an attempt to avoid being wrong. Okay. But your new transformed self is okay with being wrong, right? So it's okay to go all in. It's okay to go all in. And I feel like, because this wheel of fortune makes me think of like gambling, right? When you put your money on a bet, you got to release it. You put it down, you let it go, and you either win or you don't, right? And you kind of got to be in a detached state to accept either equally, right? If you don't win, you weren't meant to, and that's okay. If you do win, you were meant to, and that's okay too, right? Okay. Okay, this is the choosing of the heart. This is the choosing to go within. This is what moves you towards your goal here. I feel like that's there actually, because this is part of that centering and going within. Right? Balancing of the masculine and the feminine within. and following your heart, trusting your heart, going into your heart. And you've done it. You've done it. You've found a sweet spot of balance between your masculine and feminine, your thinking and knowing, and your doing, your action. Okay, then we have the Hanged Man. And because he's on the patient knight and he's upside down, I don't usually do upside down, but this guy made an effort to go upside down. So it's like your period of waiting is coming to an end, right? The Hangman is about seeing things from a different perspective and also hanging out, right? Taking a breather, taking a beat, reconnecting, but in a different way. And on top of this patient knight upside down, it's like time to getting ready to move, getting ready to take those swords out, that forced rest period. That's what I'm getting from the Ten of Swords. It's just like, full of ideas, wanting to run, wanting to go, but needing to recenter, reset, recalibrate, ground so that they're not wasting energy on things just for the sake of doing. Right? And that's part of what this transformation helped rewrite for you. Is this know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, know when to run. You gotta count your money. When something in the scene over, when the dealing's done. I don't know the words. There'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done. Okay, so I think this is going back to the beginning with that, like, the greater the risk or the sacrifice, the greater the reward or something. This is that like gambling. This is that going all in on something, going on all in on the new version of yourself. You have nothing to lose. And because you accept that death and release and transformation and rebirth is part of the cyclical nature that is life, right? Every day, every moment, every moon cycle, whatever it is you want. I think the easier it will be to reconcile with death and release and rebirth, right? Because and maybe you'll not hold too fast to the things because you're used to or you have normalized your rebirthing process, your pivoting, your I can go this way, and if it's a dead end, okay, just turn around, go the other way, right? Like it's not going to be a deal breaker for you. And I think this is what stabilizes you in the material realm. Okay, that's your grounding, that's your centering, that's your acknowledgement of your position on this earth. We are of this earth, from this earth, but also from the stars, right? We are the embodiment of this balance and like consciousness and everything. That's the feminine. That's all the ethereal realms, right? And the masculine, very rooted and grounded in the earth realm. And this is why it's so important for this masculine feminine balance within, because you're acknowledging as above, so below, as without, so within, or as within, so without, like all of the dichotomies. And that's how you take your power back. You are both death and birth constantly. Okay. So coming out, stepping out, and the Chariot. Yeah, it's okay to come out of your sanctuary, of your safe space, of your womb. This is giving me the stepping out of the womb, right? Your safe space. But balanced and intentional. Okay, and this Chariot is like your highest and best timeline coming at you, right? We've got all the moons in the background, so it's like suggesting different dimensions, and the movement of the Chariot is very much getting you to where you got to go. Just looking at what else is going on down here. It's hard to see. Something Egyptianish. This is Queen of Cups. Yes, Queen of Cups. She is holding it and flowing with it and owning it and open open to communication, open to sharing, open to love. Yeah, going with the flow, adaptable, trusting the signs and synchronicities, right? Seeing the eagles flying together, communicating, and acknowledging that as being a beautiful sign from the universe, conspiring in your favor, right? Showing you, oh, what's going on here? Emperor! Emperor's bringing in love and stability and partnership and beautiful gorgeousness. Okay, this is either someone in your energy field coming in with, loyalty, love, joy, beautiful, overflowing abundance, celebration, twin flame, expanded mind blowingness. Or this is your ability to claim and take and own and do and make that for yourself. Both equally beautiful and gorgeous. And both equally and beautifully true, right? They can both be true. You can have, the emperor show up at the door with a gift basket, but you still have to choose to open it, right? To answer the door, to receive. But you're in this Queen of Cups energy, and it's very much flowing with it. You're flowing with it. And that's beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, consolidate your energies, your resources, your power. Consolidate. Yeah. Reassess, hone in, zone in. This is also, right? This, oh, look. Reciprocating relationships is on the bottom. And I'm pulling that out because it's very relevant to the balancing of the masculine and feminine within, the balancing of your states, right? As within, so without, because you are in this balanced, reciprocating, open flow state of self, you will draw in more of the same externally. And that's gorgeous. That's gorgeous. Yeah. There's your soul tribe. On the bottom, there are people who are like, ooh, sparkly. I want some of that sparkle stuff. They're used to, these plastic fake sparkles that live forever as microplastics in the earth. But you are eco-friendly sparkles. You are made from a plant cellulose that breaks down and goes back into the earth, which is way better. It's natural. Just as sparkly and amazing, but good for the environment. So there's a difference. There's a difference. And the right people will recognize the difference. Right? They'll be like, oh, that's not poking me in the eye like a sharp piece of plastic usually does. Okay, so we've got worlds coming together with strength, healing hearts, and claiming and receiving your wish coming true. Okay. This is a strengthening of the heart too, right? This is the wounded heart. It's so bizarre, but I have three wounds in my heart, big wounds in my heart. Just disappointments and betrayals or abandonment and all that kind of stuff, right? So, whatever this transition to the new world, this rebirth, this new version of you is really going to strengthen your heart. Okay. And you're going to get what you wish for. So, be intentional with your wishing, because I feel like this is what's healing your heart here, and your readiness and ability to come out of your comfort zone to receive. Okay. And this action taking masculine is either bringing in the wish, is the wish, or your ability to take the wish that comes to you, and or all of the above. Okay. And then the strength of the lion, I feel, is fueling this chariot, just for balance sake here. Okay, we'll go one through one more time. Any other cards want to come out for this reading from this deck? Do it now, or forever hold your peace. Celebrate. Yes, we will be celebrating. Okay, and a message coming. Celebrate the messages. Okay, treat all the signs and synchronicities as if they are direct communication from the universe. Be like, hey, I see you. I got your message. Thank you. Awesome. Yes, I love it. Right? Like, feel that celebration. Infuse your water with it. You are 80% water, right? So, like a tea, just grab those signs and synchronicities like leaves off of your, you know, peppermint plant and just throw it in there and let it steep and just savor and simmer all the good stuff, okay? Because this message, these messages, this communication, these offers, these things that are on their way to you are going to be worth celebrating. And this is that joy. This is that joy, this union. You know, it does speak about some sort of like marriage celebration type thing. Okay, commitment. That's what I was looking for. Commitment. So yeah, beautiful. Okay, there are those messages. There are those messages. Now let's get something from the wild unknown. Anybody from the wild unknown want to come out? The wolf. Okay, wolf. What you got for us? What you want to tell us, Earth Wolf? Guardian of family and tribe, activism and ritual. The wolf's mission is to uphold the well-being and longevity of the pack. Healthy wolf energy expresses itself through activism, mentorship, humanitarian efforts, or teaching, religious or political studies. The wolf gets into trouble when it assumes every member of the tribe must follow suit. This includes children walking in their parents' footsteps. Although it will surely be uncomfortable at first, practicing tolerance helps balance out agitated wolf energy. Contemplate the following: embrace all, exclude none. When in balance, reliable, democratic, and fearless. When out of balance, judgmental and dominating. To bring into balance, practice letting go. Okay. So this is giving me that go all in fearlessly, right? Well, knowing that no matter how things turn out, you're going to be okay, right? It kind of removes, it's no longer going in like, I might be wrong or I might be right. And then you're either wrong or you're right, right? Like it's going in and being like, no matter how this plays out, I'm going to be good. And I think that is where your freedom lies. That's where your freedom lies, in your ability to release the outcomes in a way that you empower yourself. And yeah, you free your mind and the rest will follow. Like just allow, be, and flow and trust. Right? It takes the fear of the unknown away when you trust this new version of you, this rebirthed version of you, to respond accordingly. And that every little thing is gonna be all right. And that's a beautiful thing. Right? Maybe that's what babies would know if they came. They're like, it's all good. They just trust. They trust that somebody's got them. Somebody's going to take care of them. Somebody's going to teach them the way. They're not worried. Okay. Go on an adventure. Break free from your usual regular routines and carrying zons and do something different. Get out and do something different. Go on an adventure. Go explore and discover. Okay, because there's beautiful things out there. And be fearless. Trust, have faith. And this is like, yes, faith in the universe, but this is also faith in you. Faith in you. Adventure again. Okay, so really, like, definitely, adventure is the way to go. View life as an adventure. View every moment as a possibility to discover something new about yourself. Right? This is what going into the unknown does. It reveals versions of yourself. And once you've established that the version of you that you are at your core is adaptable and confident and competent. Okay, wild. Meet Samson. He is a shimmering concoction of wildness and strength. He lives perpetually under the full moon, with limitless abandon. He races over the hills, feeling the perfect harmony of his body, moving unhindered by thoughts. Unfettered by beliefs of who he should be or how he should act, Samson is fully himself without question or excuse. If you have been the oh-so-proper house cat for too long, step outside and awaken your precious wild self. Unleash your longings and join Samson under the moon's wild light. Beautiful confirmation from the kitties. And then mystery. Meet Esmeralda. She is the sweet unknown and the allure of endless mystery. There are things that are impossible for our human minds to fully comprehend, yet we still must make decisions without knowing the ultimate outcome. The mystery can feel dazzling and full of possibilities, or it can feel ominous and freeze us in our tracks. Esmeralda beckons us to make peace with the mystery. Let the great unknown sit beside you as you wash the dishes and fall in love and write your story and live your strange and winding life. Beautiful kitty confirmations, okay, to all of the messages. Gorgeous, beautiful, and amazing. Okay, we're just going to do quick, and there's the hermit coming out, shining bright for others to see, like a guiding light, like a north star. Okay, the cycle. We've got the cycles of life and death, of light and shadow, of masculine and feminine. This is that acknowledgement. There's even the snake, right? Shedding the skin. This is that accepting and integrating this reality um, of the cycles that is life. If today doesn't work out, tomorrow is a new day, right? Okay. Let's pull it random and see what wants to come out for us. Okay, we got this one. What's this one? The moon, things yet to be revealed. We've got harmony. Yes, this is that finding harmony within your balance, within your dichotomies. There's the twin flame. Okay, confirmation. Beautiful, gorgeous. There's a star. These twin flames are about two stars coming together, shining bright. Okay, using your third eye, connecting with your third eye, your intuition, trusting it for it knows. Okay, holding hope in your heart, not resisting, not doubting, not fearing. All those things slow the movement, and you want to keep the movement going. Okay, because the world is your oyster, right? You are the pearl in the center of the world, and you're gorgeous. Okay, love, 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 and reaching the goal. You're getting there. You're doing it. You're making it happen, and it's gorgeous. It's going to be gorgeous. It is gorgeous. You're gorgeous. Okay. There's the message of messages for today. Beautiful, shining, and balanced, harmonious. Go get adventurous. Take your life, take your day, take your new version of you, and choose and be the amazing being that you are. All right. So there you have it. Love you. Thank you. I appreciate you. Take care and make yourself shine. Love you.